guys, and welcome back to TJM Brendale, and let's get back to Project Ranger. This time we're starting with the rear bar. So let's go and check it out in a little bit more detail behind the scenes.
So what's in the box of the single tube rear bar for the Mazda and Ford Ranger 2012 Plus? Well, here's everything here. So you get all your nuts and bolts, you get all the fittings, you get the tow bar tongue, you get the pin and clip, you don't get a ball with it, number plate light, and also a full set of fitting instructions, plus 7-pin trailer plug flat with your circuit breaker, and also a wiring loom. Now it's not plug and play, but it's pretty close to it. So a full wiring loom which has the ECU controller in it as well. So that's everything that you get with the RB6 rear single tube rear bar. And now we'll go over and check out the rear bar itself. Alright, so one of the first things you're going to notice is the compliance plate here on the back of the rear bar. Now you'll notice that it has a tow bar capacity of 3,500 kg, and that's standard for the BT50 and the Ford Ranger, and that's an ADR or an Australian design rule that TJM meets to make sure that you've got something that's safe and secure on the back of your car to do two things: tow your trailer or protect you when you go off-road. So the first thing we're going to be doing is removing these aluminium checker plate steps or step treads, and we're going to send them off to the powder coaters and get them powder coated in a matte black finish. This is all going to be for the new company vehicle that we've got here, so it's going to look a little bit unique and a little bit different to make sure that she stands out. Now the rest of the bar work or the tube work you'll see here is all going to be painted, maybe colour coded to the same colour as the car. We'll see what happens yet. But just behind here, before we get it bolted to the car as well, I thought I'd show you in a little bit more detail about how strong these rear bars are. So you'll get to see how much detail goes into the back end of these things to make them what they are. And I would say to you, and yeah, look, okay, I work for TJM, but these things are solid. They really are, and I'd suggest to you they're probably one of the strongest rear bars that are on the market. So you've got that support of the side tube that runs up the side of the vehicle, which you'll see on the car later on. And that gives you a really good side protection if you happen to slide off and impact the side of the car. It hopefully will hit the tube before it hits the side of your car. Now underneath here you'll also see a high lift jacking point, and again more detail there to show you spots like this for parking sensors. So if your vehicle comes with parking sensors, we can fit those because we've made provisions for them in this rear bar. Alright, so hopefully that's enough detail for you guys. Now we're going to pull those step treads off and send them off to the powder coaters, and the rear tube will go off to the painters. Okay, so the RB6 rear bar from TJM is back from the painters. That's right, we sent it off to get a colour code done, and in this case we've actually gone for a contrasting colour. It's not exactly the same colour as the car, so it's slightly different. But here's the rear bar. We've mounted it on the car. We've still got the step treads to go on, and we wanted to leave those off so we can expose a little bit more of that structure that we've got in this rear bar. Now keep in mind, tow bar rated as well. Departure angle off-road significantly better than your OE rear bar and your OE rear tow bar. So keep that in mind when you're buying the vehicle. Don't just take what the dealer wants to give you. Think about one of these and think about the benefits you're going to get. Tow bar, high lift jacking point, parking sensors are compatible as well, so the factory parking sensors will go back into this rear bar, and of course we've got the departure angle as well for the off-road, and also down the side here is the protection you get down the side for the style side tub as well. So this thing is feature packed and is really going to make a change and difference to the rear end of your vehicle. So we'll go underneath now and check out some of the finer details as to how it's bolted into the chassis rail. Okay, so we're underneath the chassis rail here. This is where the tow bar or the rear bar is actually mounted to the chassis rail, and you can see up in these points here exactly where the chassis rail is in black, and this is the colour coding that we've done on the rear bar. So you've got a fair significant amount of bolts through that section there, but you'll also see the strength down the side here as well of exactly where the rear or the outer tube joins up to the plate as well, which gives it that added strength. So right through here you can see the reason why we can make these tow bars and rear bars significantly better and more compliant to make sure that they're going to do all the things we want to do as Aussies in this great country of ours. So that's taken a look underneath. So last but not least, we're going to throw the step treads on, and that will complete the whole deal with the RB6, apart from the electrical wiring system, which if you just have a look up here,
where the ECU is mounted as well. So this shows you the electrical side of things for towing a trailer. So there's an ECU that's up there, and that's all wired into the original factory wiring to make sure that it works when you plug your trailer in.
And that all hooks up to this 7-pin trailer plug to work, which is what I mentioned before. So we've just mounted it a little bit differently here on this one, but that's a 7-pin trailer plug.